Hello everyone, I am back, and once again it's late, it's cold, it's time to go home. So let me show you what we've done. So the first question, how long do you think it would take to remove the door panels so that we could remove the mirrors so that we can put the carbon fiber door panels on? Well, if you would have asked me before we did it, it was two of us working, I would have said, yeah, an hour, 2 hours at the most. Well, believe it or not, took 4 freaking hours to do it. We still haven't got them all the way off because of this one wire that goes to the mirror. I have no clue what this one wire does, but right now I either have to disconnect it from the mirror, which means taking this apart, which may or may not be a big issue. I don't know. I'm going to find out. Or doing it in the wiring harness. We already opened everything up and it's buried deep in the wiring harness, and I'm not going to dig it out. So the other option is cut this wire. There's plenty of slack in it, so I may cut it and splice it. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, test fit the carbon fiber body door panels. There we go. Looks good in the dark. We're going to see tomorrow what it looks like in the daylight. It is supposed to rain all day tomorrow, which is disappointing, but we can clean up the shop and make room. We've just been working on so much stuff. All right. So the other thing is I needed to figure out the fender flares. Well, I already know that the Grand Sports have wider wheels and tires. So what I did was I swapped the rear wheels and tires and the front wheels and tires just on this one side, so that I could get an idea of, okay, if we put a wider wheel and tire on the front, what's that going to do? What do we need to do? Because I didn't want to do the fender flares and then find out we're still tire restricted. Those of you who aren't familiar with a C2 Corvette, they're very tire restricted because of the tire hitting the fender. I had a 64. They had put wider wheels and tires on the front, and I couldn't make a full turn because the tire would rub the fender. That's why the Grand Sports have the relief on the fender and the fender flare, which you can see right there. The whole purpose of that was to allow for a wider wheel and tire and room for it to move. So I put it on here, and sure enough, it was way too tight. So I went ahead and cut away a relief. Now I've got to piece together the fender flares. The reason I have to piece them together is because the curve is all wrong. I looked at an actual Grand Sport picture, and it has this wide gap at the back, a narrow gap in the middle, and a wide gap in the front, and I don't want that. I'd like for it to be as uniform as possible. And then those of you that are familiar with the actual C2, the fender opening is like this, where it's curved in the front, flat in the middle, and curved in the back. In fact, it looks like this. So see how large that gap is in the front and the rear? That's pretty unacceptable. Let's go to the other side though, because that is the front tire. A little harder to see, but here it is with the back tire. So you can see that it's less of a gap, but still, I mean, what is that, a 3 or 4 inch gap right there? Not quite as much in the back, but still too much. And then at the top, it's right even with the top of the tire. Coming to the front, and I like the way the top of the tire is, it actually overlaps. The fender overlaps the tire a little bit. But again, we've got that big gap in the back, and then a reasonable gap in the front right there. So anyway, I've got to make the body fit like I want it to as far as the fender openings go. And that's going to be a lot of trial and error and fitting things together and all of that. So that's what tomorrow is going to be. The hood and stuff is pretty much where it needs to go. I found the bonding, so I'm going to screw this down and go ahead and work on that. And at some point I got to do the headlights. I don't have the right headlights. The headlight covers are being made, but they've been being made for a month now, so I don't know when they're going to come. But anyway, sometime in there I've got to figure out how to mount the headlights, so I've got to work on that. The grill is going to Actually, it really sets this front end off. I put it in place, held it in place. It really looks nice there. That's pretty much all I can think of. That's quite a lot. Oh, and then we got to get the stupid door, hood and support apart from each other. So I'll do that also tomorrow. I do have a heat gun. That might work, might not. I'm going to try that. If I can't find my tool with the vibrating cover that does not have the teeth on it, I'll have to go buy another one. This kind of moving in between shops has really caused a damper in finding stuff. But I'm getting there. Okay, that's pretty much it. So, as usual, like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.